Tales of Amestralia, The War of the Madosian Peninsula. Tyarzo Viazborsk, Part 1. Fast forward to the year 3E, 3320. More than 200 years after the First Great War of the Savannas, we arrive on the eve of the Second Great War of the Savannas. A man, a legendary being, called Tyarzo Viazborsk, born in the year 3E, 3292, in the city of Pevitska, son of Solhusk Viazborsk, a much-loved member of the Pevitska army, and also the son of Halunakwonda, a beauty from Rambaya, a small city far beyond the mountains of Volvla. A woman who carried with her a special power that few people who knew her even knew she possessed. The power to control water. Tyarzo was born with his father's physical ability to battle, and his mother's magical abilities to manipulate water. Tyarzo had very dark black skin. His very blue eyes made a great contrast with his skin, eyes that he inherited from his mother. His physical size he inherited from his father, being large and muscular, but even with his large size, Tyarzo had agility and flexibility. Tyarzo, at age 12, was already a prodigy at the Pevitska Warrior School, and wanted to join the navy of Pevitska once he grew up. At the age of 16, Tyarzo passed second place in the navy of Pevitska's entrance test, only behind Durgo Givden, a 17-year-old prodigy who came from a humble family. Durgo was disciplined and also possessed a special power, this being the power of advanced reflexes. He would become an important figure in the history of the navy of Pevitska. Once he joined the navy of his city, Tyarzo traveled to various places on diplomatic missions and pirate hunts in the South Sea. Tyarzo was a good fighter, despite being somewhat insubordinate. Although his successes in battle earned him some promotions, at the age of 20, Tyarzo faced the infamous Captain Balmong Axhand near the city of Uetla and emerged victorious, thus achieving much prestige among sailors throughout the South Sea. In the year 3E, 3314, when Tyarzo was 22 years old, he competed in the military games of Pevitska and finished third in the fencing contest, losing again to Durgo Givden, but managing to win the swimming contest. At the age of 23, Tyarzo traveled west, beyond the line of Volvla, and visited Ikaforand, one of the oldest ports in the world, and during his stay there, he and two companions ended up facing a terrible hydra, and together the trio led by Tyarzo exterminated the terrible creature. Everything was going well for young Tyarzo, who was famous, getting richer, traveled the world, and still had fantastic moments in combat where he did things that many considered unimaginable. But this would change in the year 3E, 3316. In the year 3E, 3316, began the War of Amska, the large tropical island located in the South Sea. Already had 4 cities at the time and a few more wandering groups. These were Sira, in the center of the island, Biast-Tingwa on the west coast, Gwozarev, located on the east coast, and Dzdinlecha, located on the south coast. The city of Sira suffered an attack from the city of Biast-Tingwa, in a territory that both cities claimed possession of. The Prince of Sira was married to a princess from the city of Gwozarev, and the King of Sira was the result of the union between a Sron citizen and a member of the wandering tribe of Holt. With this, the King Hessian Norslavo of Sira summoned the leaders of both groups to unite against Biast-Tingwa, thus forming a triple alliance that proclaimed itself the Green Union. Biast-Tingwa, however, did not wait, and called on the city of Dzdinlecha to unite and fight against the Green Union, and especially against Gwozarev, who was Biast-Tingwa's main rival at the time. Once united, both cities formed the Blue Union. For 5 months, these two sides battled on land and at sea, damaging the trade of all the cities involved, and of several others associated with the people of Amska. Pevitska, who imported many native products from the island of Amska, decided to meddle in the war, so that it could regain access to the products. Once Pevitska entered the war at the end of the year 3E, 3316, the cities of Tushing and Ezoxalampa, which had agreements with Gwozarev, decided to join the Green Union to help it. Pevitska, in retaliation, called upon the navies of Klak and Senishilu to aid the Blue Union, and a great war ensued. Over the years 3E, 3317, and 3E, 3318, the island of Amska became a major battlefield. For Tyarzo, this would be his first war. Previously, he had only had isolated battles against monsters and pirates. This, however, was a war that would last for some time. Tyarzo arrived in Amska in the last month of the year 3E, 3316, and over the following years he faced several bloody battles to defend his city's interests, such as the Second Battle of the Puna River, which occurred in the third month of the year 3E, 3317, and the Battle of Mount Godobo, which occurred in mid-3E, 3318. At the end of the war in 3E, 3318, the Blue Union won the conflict against Sera and achieved greater territorial rights with the victory, but at the cost of thousands of lives, and especially at the expense of the whole tribe who defended Mount Godobo to the last man, but who ultimately met its extinction. The atrocities committed in this war made Tyarzo question himself about several factors that he had never thought about before. Tyarzo wrote in his diary that he had never felt as used as he did in that war, since the reason that the navy of Pevitska became involved in that conflict was solely so that Amska's material goods and delicacies would continue to reach the hands of the king of Pevitska. Disillusioned, Tyarzo left the navy as soon as he returned to Pevitska in 3E, 3319, thus beginning an era of changes that would occur from then on in his life. Subscribe and comment.